What is the story? Hope everyone is good. Same thing happened again. Recorded yesterday, full day, leg day, which I'm about to run you through. But something's wrong with this camera or the SD card at the moment, and I lost all the footage. So we're not going to worry about it, lad. Imagine I was a couple of days out here now, and it was like a couple of days out video or whatever. I was carving up or whatever. I'd be furious. But show goes on, lad. Last couple of days have been productive. We've just wrapped up 3 days. I'm in rest day now. Today's Thursday. Probably when you're seeing this, last 3 days have been 3 productive days of training, to be fair. I'm in the groove with training, but at the same time, I put it on my Instagram. Last night I posted a couple of the sets from leg day, and I was just saying I'm sore. I am sore all the time. My quads, the top of my knee today, for whatever reason, is just absolutely killing me. But that's the place that I need to spend so much time in here now over like the next year plus. I want to step back on stage and just have a completely different physique. And the leg day I'm about to take you through, one of 2 now every single week, is a big area that I need to put focus on. Big area that I need to put focus on. And that's not just the leg day itself, but it's just my daily habits around the whole leg day, around every single training session. The training session, as much as the training, is the only place that you can go in, you can create the demand to build muscle, break down the fibers that you need to break down every single week to create an adaptation as much as you can to go home, eat your food, sleep, recover, rest, and come back in next week and be stronger and have built muscle. It's that routine around it that, for me, I'm getting better at. As you can see, like, obviously, everything I show you on here is just like what I do on a day-to-day basis, which is what I enjoy. There's no like sporadic doing this and doing that. It's just what I do on a daily basis. I'm getting better at that. That's something I've never, ever been good at, is just that consistent work without any instant gratification. When we're dieting, we're prepping, we're getting that instant gratification in the mirror every single day, in our checking photos, when we're stepping on the scales, because that's what we're doing. Like it's dropping off body fat. And losing body fat, man, is a hell of a lot easier than spending time, because you're seeing the reward from you putting in the work, from you doing all the cardio, from you eating, nailing macros every single day, from you doing what you need to do. But on the other end of it, when you're pushing up, when you're deep into an off season, I'm pretty much 4 months into my gaining phase, you could say, and I've only just touched the surface in terms of how long I need to spend in this gaining phase. You can get lost in that, and you can get lost in it quick. I was only chatting to one of the lads after the gym yesterday. We're both. He's only a couple of weeks post show, so it's not as bad for him maybe yet, but still, you can kind of be in a place where you're just like, this is just what I got to do now on a daily basis, and you've just got to find enjoyment from doing that on a daily basis. Like going in, just nailing food. Like, there's going to be people watching this who are so far deeper into it than I am already, and you might struggle with it, or you're in the groove with it so much. But it's just about finding enjoyment in just like the simplicity, I suppose, of just your daily routine that you do of ticking all the boxes. And that's what I've never been good at before. And that's what I'm trying to get better at this year. Is obviously, this is my first proper off-season gaining phase that I'm spending time in, that I haven't just shafted myself straight out the gate. I did also speak yesterday in terms of, how I'm feeling, with obviously like the joys of it, like I am getting a haircut today, so the face will look a couple of pounds lighter. But the joys of it, the face looking a little bit chunkier and stuff, and dealing with that side of things, when body fat does accrue that little bit more, but then that does come down to, again, standards, and I spoke about it the other evening in terms of last week. I just didn't think my standards were where they're at, and again, if I was to just let those things slip for another week, that goes into another week, it makes it harder again. That'll go into a full month where you look back and you're like, I haven't really been on it for the last month. A month is a lot of time in terms of progress, like 30, 31 days, lad. I nipped it in the bud. I nipped it in the bud straight away, and it's just pulling that routine back in order. You can get lazy with different things as you push into this phase, because body weight's getting heavier, you're getting heavier, you're getting a little bit more sluggish, you're getting a little bit more lethargic. But it's just about nipping that in the bud so that you can just maximize. And I'm in the field at the moment, in the game of, trying to maximize every little bit of progress that I possibly can and get away with, and obviously that's where I'm saying, I'm sore every single day. I've never been in a place where I've been sore every single day from like the training side of things, which again comes down to volume, intensity, and all that kind of shit. But just from just doing the work day to day to day, and I just need to spend where we're at right now. What I'm showing you every single week is just spending that time here now for the next year plus. You know, if I want to get back on stage, maybe the same time as I did this year, like early summertime 2027, I want to get back on stage and look like a completely different person. And that's just going to be from the day-to-day work here that I'm not missing, you know, with meals, training, all that shit, man. Just not missing a beat. It's going to make that so much easier when I come around to that again, you know, and it's going to be a place of like, I said it, you know, at the start of this year, like, I will never fall off again. I will never let myself go back into position again. And the only way of not doing that is just holding myself to a level that I've never been at before, having the standards that I've never had before. And that's just keeping that work up day to day to day. And it's so much easier to just keep that up on a day to day than fall off and trying to get back on it. You know, that kind of way. Anyway, it's rest day for me, thank God. Cardio wrapped up this morning. Steps already in a good spot. We'll have steps upwards of 15k. I just like having steps high. Food is same as it was. I know we did a rest day, full day of eating last week, so that's going to stay the exact same again. Ran through all this shit yesterday, but obviously it's disappeared, but I can say it to you again. So today is rest day and cardio done this morning, 20 minutes. And then I'm doing cardio just every single morning, you know, 7 days a week, just every single morning. I just found, especially this week anyway, like 4 days wrapped up so far. Biggest thing with cardio and stuff, lads, if you have a certain goal to hit every single week or whatever the case may be, or like if to do it on certain days, just start it early in the week. Start the week off on the right foot. I know we're deep into the week now, so you mightn't have, or you might have already, but coming into next week, right, start it just straight away. Like if you've just say 120 minutes to get done for a whole week, start that early in the week. Just means you're ahead of yourself, you're starting off on the right foot. Probably going to take that into Tuesday, you're going to take that into Wednesday, and just be ahead of yourself come towards the end of the week. Same goes to your food. Just start the week off, boom, box by box. Absolutely nail it. Anyway, we're going to get stuck into the leg session. Whatever's going on with the camera at the moment, I did calves at the start. All right, you can maybe ask someone in the gym if you want proof, but I did calves, right? I always just do calves at the start of the session, start of my leg days, because when I get to the end of the session, it's the last thing I want to be doing. Last thing I want to be thinking about is, right, I've going to do a couple of sets of calves here, lad, right? And I do also think it helps with like warming up and stuff. Helps with like your like ankle flexion, you know what I mean? Like being able to move that about and just obviously having blood moving through the legs, like through the calves and stuff to start us off. And then we got stuck into, so I do standing calf raises, like it's like a type of a squat. It's like a small kind of like a V squat maybe, is it? I'm not 100% sure, but it's a standing calf raise I do. Couple sets on there. Took some nice progressions this week. And as I said to you, I'm at that point now with training where like it's a fight for a rep. It's a fight for a rep here, and I'm going to be at that point now for a very long time. You know, obviously we're going to be pushing up now for the next little while, and then we're going to have our first pullback. So we're going to have like what, 6 months of pushing up without any pulling back, probably, which is a long time to be fair. Like I didn't like ever expect myself to continue pushing for 6 months, but time has just gone by. You know, like the first 4 months have gone by. The next 2 months will absolutely fly by coming into Christmas, and then we'll be pulling back. We'll be pulling back for a little period of time. Just like an in and out job is kind of what I'd like to be doing. Like, you know, I'm good at just like an in and out job in terms of trying to rip fat off quick. You know, when you get stuck into a diet, you know, like I said it in a caption, I'm the king when it comes to diet. And I know I can diet and I'm good at dieting. But now, where I'm at right now is where I need to start getting fucking very, very good at and spending time there, because that's where the progress is made. Nonetheless, we jump then into lying leg curl. Now, usually, but I kind of like this setup, usually I would do my abductor and adductor first, but that was taken. So we jumped onto the lying leg curl. This is the new primal one. It feels absolutely lovely. 2 sets on here always. Like I'm just going between the 8 and 10 rep range. If I can go higher up to 12 reps, I will go up to 12 reps with this. But for like these smaller exercises, I don't typically go for like a top set and a back off set. It's just like 2 kind of straight sets most of the time. Just heavier set and lighter set, you know. But main thing I'm thinking about here is just like keeping myself stuck to the pad as much as I can, and then just dragging like the heel up to my glutes. That's all I'm thinking about, is just dragging it up. Instead of like swinging the weight up, I'm dragging it up. And I'm weak in this position. So it's just about getting stronger here over the next little while. But 2 good sets there. I really like this new machine. It's a lot better than the old one that they did have. That's still there, but get on this one if you're in the lab, get on this one instead, lad. Then we're into, I do a big kind of 2 light kind of big sets of abductor before I do adductor. I just find it really warms things up, opens up the hips. I've extremely tight hips, which you'll kind of see on the leg extension in a minute as well. And I just find it opens things up, warms up the glutes, and it just makes me feel better going into the adductor. So I do 2 sets on here. I just find it really good. And if it does bring a small little bit of growth to the glutes, then fucking perfect, lad. Because we need bigger glutes. Getting that tongue back on in 27, lad, I want to have a bigger rack, or whatever you call it these days. But into adductor then, so this is the side adductor. I might, for one session, it's just to ease, like instead of having to load plates on the other adductor, it's handy having this. But I want to do adductor twice a week, so potentially we'll use the plate loaded adductor alongside this on the other session that I have, the posterior session every single week. So 2 good sets on here then as well. Main thing with this is just like getting as wide as you can, getting a good stretch. Like it really does at the start of your session, it really just opens up the hips. Obviously the adductor makes up a big part of your leg as well, lads. And again, it's about closing those gaps. Like there's nothing worse than like having maybe a big set of quads or a big set of hamstrings and then having like no adductors, like nothing in between. So again, just spending time here. Like don't neglect these little things. And you'll also see as well, obviously, pretty much every isolation is done, or accessory, whatever you want to call it, the smaller movements, which is where a lot of the work is done, where a lot of the muscle is going to be built, simple as, because you can get muscles really short, lengthened, you can get like just good like time under tension, good execution with in these accessory movements at the start. Then into leg extension. The least favorite exercise, to be fair, probably in the whole gym. For whatever reason, I've never liked it. But again, it's that one place, putting this at the start of the session as much as you can to get the quad short. Now we're using, what is it called? Is it called the VersaPad or UlsaPad or something like that on the where your ankles go or your shins go? It just allows and feels way better. Apologies, feels way better first and foremost, but it just allows for more range of motion, to be fair, and that's what you want to get. You want to obviously lengthen the quad as much as you can here, as well as shorten it as much as you can. But you see there why my hips are really shit, because I'm shaking all over the place. See the way like my full leg is shaking all over the place? That's, in my opinion, I'm pretty sure from like really tight hips. But again, 2 very good sets here. Pretty much everything is 2 sets. Couple things I'll do 3 sets sometimes, a lot of the time. But I've pulled back in terms of volume now because 2 leg days are going in every single week. I've pulled back a small little bit in terms of the amount of leg days that we're doing. So 2 sets on there. Let me drive this on a little bit. I'm just standing there for a couple of minutes after my set. I do also stick in here. I stuck in here the intra, so my sustain and my EAA, just got that down before I got onto hack squat. So I'll be kind of going through the system then when we're on hack squat. The first set of hack squat is just, again, I go on 1 plate, I go on 2 plates, I go on 3 plates, just getting a couple reps in. Again, I'll do good few reps for 1 plate just to get like that pattern, like, and get ready for that pattern, get my body used to what we're about to do. 2 plates, a couple less reps, 3 plates, like 2 reps, which was this set here. And then we were into top set then, which again is the set every single week, like the exercise every single week. This and the stiff leg, which I'm like most anxious about, which is a good thing, I think, to be honest. Like, and I just want to run this up. Again, weight moves weight, yes, but it's about the stimulus that I get from this, which is the most important thing. That's the most important thing when it comes to hack squat, is like every rep, like how much stimulus are you getting? You know, it's not just a case of going down and up and down and up. Like, it's like, right, what am I feeling here? Like, what am I breaking down here? And it's just like on the way down, you want to feel it all. You know, like small little pause at the bottom, like small little pause. And then on the way back up, like you're feeling it. Like I especially feel it with this hack squat. You feel every inch of that on the way back up, which is good, which is good. So again, good set here. I did have Paddy last week there as well to assist me, because there's definitely, as you get to the top, like in the middle of the like rack, or like, it's weird, isn't it? Like you're just sliding up and down on a pole here, which is kind of weird. Do you know, compared to like other machines, you're just sliding up and down along a pole, which sounds fucking weird, lad. But there's a little bit of a sticking point in this at the kind of middle point, which is good, but I would have gone for another rep if I had someone there to spot me for that sticking point. But I just knew myself, I would have stuck at that sticking point and I would have gotten fucking swallowed up underneath the hack squat. Then finally, we're back onto the pivot and we're going to run this as long as we can. Again, 7 plates here for my top set. With that, main thing is just actually being able to get as much out of the quads with this as you can, like just getting as low as you possibly can, firstly, you know, just getting as deep as you possibly can, having range of motion in a good spot. Again, it's a quad focus. So again, for me, I'll get better with it, getting my feet lower on the pad, just because at the moment I'm just getting used to that movement, and I just need to get better with mobility as a whole, with every single movement, especially when it comes to legs and upper body. Like, I'm very not mobile. But main thing here for me is like just spending time like actually feeling it again. Not just with the pivot, you can load it up, man. You can just swing weight up and down and up and down. Yeah. And it's a class movement, but you want to feel every single bit of it. I want to feel the quads, every single little bit on the way down there, small little pause, and then change direction and feel it on the way up. For the first couple of reps, you're not going to feel anything major, but as you get deeper into it, you're going to feel every single rep, which is good. Exactly where I want to be. And that was the last set of the day. Not set, but last exercise, I should say. So 2 sets on here as well. Before I was doing a split squat as well, but now I've got the second like proper leg day gone in, which is posterior, more glute focus, more hamstring focus. This is more quad focus. Again, small little bit of hamstrings in there just to get more volume in and to get me warmed up. Like, I'd never just do quads on its own. I'd never just do hamstring on its own. That posterior day is going to have more quad work as well, a little bit of leg extension to get in there as well, because as I said, my legs need a lot of work. My legs need to build a lot of muscle, and it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen by me just faffing about. But I pull the volume back a small little bit here. This is the perfect amount of volume. I just need to get better at, bringing more aggression and everything like that to my sets, bringing more intensity, keeping execution in a really good spot, finding that fine line between execution and intensity over the next little while. But that is leg day number 1 of the week. How are we? A couple hours gone by, nearly dinner time now at this stage. But successful leg day done. Was happy with that. Just like the perfect amount. Obviously gone through the leg day there with you. At some point, I can't actually get the files over to the laptop. They're on this camera, but I can't get them over. So at least they're there. Hopefully, by God, I'll be able to get them over. But I'm just getting a couple of steps in here now. Wrapping things up. It'll be nearly time for another meal. Had post-workout earlier. Lovely chicken and rice, lad. Can't go wrong. Next meal is due to go in. And then that'll be pretty much it for the day. Tomorrow's a rest day. It's a good 3 days of training put down. Like 3 days. Well into the new split now, to be fair. This week will be like first really good week into it. I'm looking forward to upper. It'll be my first proper. Sorry, the face track is kind of follow me or not maybe. But it'll be like the first proper upper because I trained upper in Kings last week with Keen. So looking forward to training upper inside the lab now. I'm just getting that session solidified, and then stiff legs going back in on Saturday, lad. I get anxious for stiff legs, and then today's session hack squat. They're just 2 movements that you're just like, fuck yeah, hell, like going in here now. But it's a good session done. My knees are buckled, but big thing, especially with like leg day training and stuff, is just like keep that movement going then into the rest of the day. Like, fair enough, right? It depends on what your setup is. Obviously I train legs earlier in the day compared to like training them at night, then coming home and having nothing to do and just hitting the couch, eating, going to bed. But like today, obviously training them that bit earlier, I'm coming home. First thing I did was go get on the treadmill, obviously for 10 minutes post-workout, just to keep movement there, because you get back into the car, you get back in, and you're just like, fuck. And you're just going to be coming home then, eating food, maybe sitting down. You just get lazy, I just recommend just keeping the movement up. Got the dog out straight away when I got home after post-workout. Just keeping that movement going, and obviously sat down for a couple of hours, and now I'm back on the walking pad to finish off steps. And I'll have one more small bout of steps then later after I eat, just for digestion, and obviously finish up steps for the day. Just because I like doing high steps. I don't know, I just like it. I feel better off it. And then we'll be back in for upper then on Friday. Hope you enjoyed run through of the leg session. I'll keep running through different sessions, obviously all the sessions that we do. Give you my tips, what I think, my experience. That's all we can do, lad. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm getting back in the flow with like more frequency here now. Just have that rhythm there, and I'm just going to keep it up. That's the most important thing. I'm looking at monsters over there. Dan got me, I told her to get me monsters when she was in the shop the other day. She got me like sugar ones. I asked her for just like, get me monster. She thought they were the like Rosa or something like that, but they're Pipeline Punch, lad. And I just would never bring myself to drinking a fucking sugar monster. So if anyone wants them, come and collect them. I'll probably just give them to someone back in the gym or something over the next couple of days. But drop the video a like, comment down below. leg day. If you watched to the end of the video, a couple of people commented already in the last one. Appreciate that, the real ones. You know who you are. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're growing, lad. We're growing. Imagine if we got to like 2K before 2026. The only way we're going to do that is if I keep pumping them out. Hope you're getting along well. Whatever phase you might be in, we've got PCA Galway on Sunday, which I'm looking forward to. A couple of the lads from around here competing up there, and last show of the season in Ireland. So we're going to get up there. No reason to be going other than just supporting. And one of the lads actually, Adam was saying that in his story earlier today. You know, it's a big thing. You know, with me being so stuck into bodybuilding here now and everything, you know, I should be going to shows. I should be supporting, you know, and just going, getting stuck in, sitting in the crowd, watching people competing. Obviously, I've got friends competing in it as well, so looking forward to that on Sunday. And then potentially could have some other shows that we will be going to before the year is out as well. So I'll be looking forward to that. Anyway, I will see you in the next one.